today I'm going to do a storytime video, and the title is correct. I did stalk Hannah Hart. I don't regret it. It was pretty awesome. Well, let me give you a background. Let's start with background, okay? So, in Oregon, we have recently had an ice storm slash a snow blizzard, it feels like, and it snowed and iced for like 4 days, and it was pretty heavy on the snow. People were leaving their cars on the side of the road. Nobody was going anywhere. It wasn't even a thought. Nobody was leaving, and nothing was really open. So, being new in town, every second that I get free, I want to do something new. I want to go explore. I want to go try out new food. I want to do everything that this town has to offer. That's really hard in a snowstorm. Like really, really hard. And a lot of locals have said that this was the worst snowstorm in like several years. So I came at the right time. I don't know. I'm used to driving in snow and ice and all of that, but I'm a little spoiled because back home they would salt and sand and scrape the ice off the roads after a couple of days or even a couple hours after it started to snow. So the roads weren't too terribly bad. They weren't great, but they weren't too terribly bad. Here, nobody, and I mean nobody, clears the roads. Everybody's just okay with not going anywhere. Everybody's like, I am absolutely okay with staying inside. I'm not. I will go stir crazy. I don't know. I don't know how these people make it. Thank God that it gets hot again. I definitely did not want to be trapped in my house for a whole weekend where I have time off and I should be doing stuff and I should be adventuring and I should just be experiencing Eugene as it is. But no. I have to stay inside. Well, I didn't have to. And I didn't. Damn. Okay. So my friend, who is also traveling here, also gets a little stir crazy when we don't get to like go out and do stuff or, you know, leave town for the weekend or whatever. So she texts me and she says, hey, why don't we try to go to the mall? Keyword, try. And I was like, sure, why not? I would love to try and get the heck out of my house. But we were going to be smart about it. So we decided that we were going to wait a couple hours before we went to the mall because it was early that day. We were like, we'll wait a few hours, see if the snow stops, see if, you know, the snow on the ground, see if the snow that's already on the ground melts a little bit. It'll be fine. So she decided she was going to take a nap, and I was just going to get in the shower and waste time until she was ready to go. So I get in the shower, and pretty much every time I get out of the shower, I grab my phone and I start going through all my social media and just playing around on all that and getting on Snapchat. So I get on Snapchat and I see that Hannah Hart has a new Snapchat story. Well, Hannah Hart is like one of my favorite YouTubers. Like, probably one of the reasons why I even started watching YouTube so much. And she puts on her Snapchat, Eugene, you've never been so beautiful. I was stunned. I was like, I'm in Eugene. I'm in Eugene. I'm in Eugene. And I probably watched that Snapchat like, I don't know, 30 times to try and see if there was something that I could recognize in the background because I had to see her. Like, she is so inspirational to me, and like I had to see her. And I've never done anything like that before. I had never I've never like swooned over a celebrity or anything like that. And like, I was like, yes. I was like, I have to meet her. This is happening. And so I kept watching the Snapchat over and over again. And I noticed something, or not noticed, I recognized something behind her. She was at the parking lot. She was in the parking lot of the mall that my friend and I were gonna go to. I was like, oh my God, okay, so I have to wake up my friend. I have to get her up. I'm texting her, I'm calling her. She will not respond. So I start freaking out. My hair is drenched. I just got out of the shower. I'm like trying to blow dry my hair really fast. I was like, I have to go see her. I have to go see her. And so I like just dried the very front of my hair and I look like a hot mess. I put on just a little bit of makeup, not a whole lot. I had to get there. And so I jump in my car. It is blizzarding outside. A genuine blizzard. Like there is, it was awful. I wish I would have filmed it. But it was terrifying. So I drove like probably way faster on the snow than I should have. Not the point. Anyway, I'm freaking out because I was like, I have to go see her. I have to see Hannah. I have to go see her. So I get to the mall and I was like, okay, think back. What kind of clothes does she like? What kind of whatever does she like? Where do I think she would shop? H&M. 100% H&M. And so I parked the car and I park right next to a car that has California license. Okay, to be fair, in Eugene, seeing a California license isn't a big deal. But a California license in a blizzard. I think I found it. So I run into H&M, trying not to fall in the parking lot, by the way, because I'm in boots and I look like a fool and my head is wet. I go into the parking lot. I go into H&M. And I'm like darting around. I'm sure I looked really strange to all of the employees. I'm sure they were like, oh, what is this girl up to? She looks scary. Ugh, like, we need to watch out for her. She's gonna do something. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, oh, I have to see her. I have to see her. And I was talking to my roommate on the phone and I was like, I've never done anything like this. I feel so weird. I've never done anything like this. I just have to meet her. I just have to meet her. And my friend on the phone, he was like, you know, this is like borderline stalking, right? And I was like, oh. I was like, I guess it is. Well, I'm halfway here, oh, I guess it is. Well, I mean, I'm halfway done with it. I might as well just stalk all the way, right? I think so. So I look around and I was like, you know what? I don't see her. I need to hang up. I need to let you go. And I look at her Snapchat again and I was like, okay, what is she wearing? Ooh, okay, cute beanie, has like these braids down the hat. It was really awesome. And I was like, okay, so I just need to look for that. H&M is connected to the mall and you can walk through the H&M and get to the big part of the mall. Well, I walked all the way through because I didn't see her. I'm on one side of the hall of the mall and I'm like, okay, so where else would she go? Where would she go? What would she buy? Where would she go? And I hear her laugh and I whip around and I'm looking all crazy and I'm like, what on earth? And then I see that hat and it has the braids or the braids attached to the hat and I was like, oh. Understand, I'm behind her and far enough like they're walking away and I'm like following behind them and they're walking out of H&M. And they're walking back towards H&M. And so I'm just walking and walking and walking and I'm like trying to like just power walk as fast as I can without being weird because I didn't want her to think I was gonna like jump her or anything. And so they walk into H&M And they go through the whole store and I'm just booking it. And I'm just like, oh, I have to. And so I get there and I was like, Hannah? And she didn't turn around. I was like, Dale, you need to speak up. She's not gonna hear you if you don't speak up. And I was like, Hannah? And she turned around and I think she was with friends, and I think her friends were kind of shocked or surprised or whatever, and she was like, oh, hi! Or it was actually more like, hello! And I was just like, Hannah, I have been watching you for so long. I absolutely love what you do, and I love that you do the Have a Heart Foundation, and I have no words. Like, you are awesome. And she was like, oh, well, thank you. She's like, that's great. She's like, what's your name? And I told her, I was like, I'm Dale. And she's like, awesome. So she's like, are you from Eugene? I was like, oh, no, I'm from Oklahoma. And she was like, oh. She was like, well, welcome to this crazy weather. And I was like, yeah, you too. I was like, what are you doing out here? And she was like, well, I am filming a TV show for Food Network. And I was like, that's awesome. I was like, do you mind if I can get a picture? I was terrified. I was gonna forget to ask for a picture. So anytime like we had a break in the conversation, I was like, can I have a picture? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. And I'll put a clip of it at the end of this, but like, I look like a hot mess. My hair was all like frizzy because it was wet still, and I look like a hot mess. She was just so tiny and sweet, and she was so great. I was so thankful that I got to meet her, or I stalked her, or whatever. I was just so happy that it happened. And I felt so starstruck. And she just really was a big inspiration to me to do YouTube. I've always wanted to do YouTube, and I don't know, she gave me that little extra push. It was like, you know what? It's time. Let's do this. And so I was so happy I got to meet her. That was just so cool. And she wasn't even in Eugene for very long. She actually left the next day. And I'm just so glad that, I got to experience that. That was really cool. I'm glad I'm here in Eugene, and I'm glad I stalked her. It was a lot of fun. I've never done that before, and it was great. I think she's one of the nicest people, and I'm gonna keep watching her on YouTube, and you guys should too. I think she's really great. But that was my stalking story. If you guys like stories like this, please let me know down below, and leave me a comment. If you didn't like it, it's fine. Let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.